The diner clock ticked toward midnight, humming with the faint buzz of old neon lights that blinked. Open 24 hours. The rain outside hadn't stopped for hours. Sheets of water slapping the pavement, the night air thick with diesel and loneliness. Inside, Mia, a waitress barely in her 20s, was clearing the counter, trying to fight off exhaustion and the ache in her legs. She'd been working a double shift again. Her mother was in the hospital, bills piling up faster than she could count tips. Life hadn't been kind to her lately, but she smiled anyway. Because that's what she did best. Across the room sat a man, tall, broad, his arms covered in tattoos that snaked up to his neck. He'd been there for an hour, nursing a black coffee and staring too long. Something in his eyes made Mia uneasy. A wildness like he'd lost a fight with himself long ago. She didn't want to judge, she'd seen plenty of broken people in this diner, but this man, he felt dangerous. Need a refill? She asked softly, keeping her distance. He grinned, showing a chipped tooth. Only if you sit with me, sweetheart. She laughed awkwardly and shook her head. Can't, got work to do. When she turned away, he muttered something she couldn't hear, but his tone made her skin crawl. Minutes passed. The diner was nearly empty except for him and a group in the corner booth. 3 bikers, leather vests marked with the unmistakable Hell's Angels patch. They'd come in from the storm, helmets dripping, road-worn but respectful. They'd been chatting quietly, joking about the rain, occasionally glancing up to thank Mia when she refilled their coffee. Mia didn't know much about bikers, except what movies said: trouble, rebellion, chaos. But these men, they'd been kind. One of them, a grizzled man with gray in his beard and a tattoo of an angel on his forearm, had tipped her $50 earlier, saying, "For that smile, kid, don't lose it." That smile faded fast, because the tattooed stranger finally stood up. He walked to the counter where Mia was collecting plates, his boots heavy on the tile. She looked up, startled. "You need something else?" He leaned in too close, the smell of beer and tobacco thick on his breath. "Yeah, you to stop pretending you're too good for me." "Excuse me," she whispered, heart pounding. Before she could move, he reached out, grabbed her by the collar, his fingers tearing the fabric of her uniform in one violent jerk. The rip echoed through the diner like a gunshot. Mia gasped, stumbling backward, clutching what was left of her shirt. Her eyes went wide with terror. The man sneered. "Let's see who can save you now." For a second, just a heartbeat, the world froze. The rain outside, the hum of the lights, even her breath seemed to stop. Then came the sound of chairs scraping. From the corner booth the Hell's Angels stood up. The leader, the gray, bearded man, walked forward, calm as stone. His brothers followed, silent but steady. The stranger looked up defiant. "What, you gonna play hero now?" The gray, bearded biker didn't answer. He just stepped between Mia and the man, his presence filling the room like thunder. He turned his head slightly, voice low but sharp. "Kid, you alright?" Amaya couldn't even speak, she just nodded, tears welling up. "Good," the biker said. Then he turned his eyes on the stranger. "Because you just made the biggest mistake of your life." The man laughed, but it was shaky now. "You don't scare me." "Oh, I'm not trying to," the biker replied. "But I do protect people who don't deserve to be hurt." The stranger lunged first, a flash of rage and stupidity, but he never made it halfway. One biker caught his arm mid-swing, twisting until the sound of bone popping filled the air. Another shoved him against the wall, hard enough to knock the breath from his chest. "Stop," Mia cried, trembling. "Please, don't hurt him." That stopped them. The leader looked at her, really looked, saw the fear, the kindness, the pain in her eyes. He sighed, stepping back. "All right, sweetheart, for you." They let the man go, but not before the leader leaned in close and whispered something only he could hear. Whatever it was, it made the man go pale. He bolted out into the storm, disappearing into the dark. The diner went silent again. Maya stood there shaking, clutching her torn shirt, tears spilling freely now. The biker reached into his jacket, pulled out his bandana, and handed it to her. "Here," he said softly. "Hold it together till you get home." She took it with trembling hands. "Thank you. I don't even know your name." "Name's Ray," he said, offering a faint smile. "Don't thank me. Just promise me something." "What's that?" "That you'll never let someone make you feel small again. You hear me? You fight back, even if you can't fight with your hands. You fight with your heart." Maya nodded, sobbing quietly. They stayed a while longer, just to make sure she was safe. Before leaving, Ray tucked something under the sugar jar. When she cleaned up later, she found it. $100 bill and a napkin with a note that said, "You're stronger than you think." The next morning, word spread fast. The man who attacked Mia, he was found by the cops an hour later, bruised, shaken, and too afraid to talk about what happened. He left town after that, never came back. But the story didn't end there. A few days later, Maya's mother woke from her coma. The hospital called it a miracle. Maya called it a sign that maybe kindness had a way of circling back. Weeks passed, the diner stayed open, and Mia kept smiling, stronger this time. She'd see bikers ride by every so often, engines roaring like thunder, and she'd think of Ray, the man who taught her that protectors come in all shapes and stories, and that sometimes the people the world fears most have the biggest hearts. One evening she found a small package at the diner door. Inside was a patched vest. Not a gang one, but one made just for her. Across the back in careful stitching it read, "Be kind always. Guardian chapter." She laughed, cried, and whispered to the empty diner, "Wes, I got my wings too." If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you that kindness can still exist in dark places, drop a comment below. Tell me what moment hit you the hardest. And remember, you never know who's fighting silent battles around you. Be kind, always. Subscribe to my channel, Be Kind Always, for more real, life-inspired stories of courage, compassion, and second chances. Let's fill this world with a little more light, one story at a time.